Hi everyone, for tonight's Nightcap and review, I'm having a soda, and tonight I'll be discussing Cruel Prince by Jade. I have this copy that I got last year at Wild and Windy. It's signed, but while I do have this great physical copy, I did read the version off of KU, but this still satisfies one of my 2026 reading goals of clearing some physical books off of my TBR. Of course, I'm giving my honest opinion. These are the highlights and the content warnings. And my rating for this book is a 4.25, so what's it about? So this book is about Dylan, who swore she would never return to Royal Manor, but now it's 4 years later, and she is back to finish her senior year at Royal Hearts Academy. The silver lining is that this will give her a chance to see Jace Covington again, the boy who was once her best friend, her first crush, and even her first kiss. But they lost touch when she was forced to move with her father and horrible stepmother. But Jace is not the same boy that she left behind, as he has grown into a gorgeous but angry young man who seems hell-bent on making her regret ever coming back, and she has no idea why. With his popularity and family, he rules the school like it's his own little kingdom, and everyone else is more than happy to do his bidding, especially when it comes to making her life miserable. But Dylan has never been one to fall in line, and she is not going to give in to their threats and bullying. So if Jace wants her gone, he's in for a rude awakening. So what are my thoughts? Again, I'm giving this a 4.25. Now, this book was a lot of fun to read. Now, I do want to say most of these characters have been consumed by grief and anger and allowed to steer them to where they misinterpret certain things and situations that lead to bigger problems. Now, most of these characters are high school seniors whose parents have abandoned them because they've given into their grief, leaving their kids to raise not just themselves, but their siblings in certain situations. So we're combining teenage hormones with angst, anger, and grief, and you have this book. Combined with the fact that you also have our two MCs, Dylan and Jace, who were the best of friends, who started to recognize that they have feelings for one another, and just as they were exploring those feelings, Jace was forced to move away. Now, some things happen where things are misinterpreted, like I said, and misunderstandings happen, and they're left to fester and anger grows. Now, Dylan comes back thinking she's about to reconnect with her best friend, maybe even explore these feelings she had for him, and come to find out her best friend absolutely hates her guts and is bullying her into regretting coming back and wants her to leave, and she has absolutely no idea why. So you definitely need to buckle up. Now, when it comes to our characters, you first have Jace, who at first you want to hate him for bullying Dylan, but then you recognize this is just a really angry kid who's been through way too much loss, has no one there to support him, has taken on way too much responsibility, and then in a time of grief was given bad information that he fixated on and is now directing all that anger towards Dylan. So yeah, you want to hate him, but your heart also breaks for him. Now, with Dylan, her situation is similar to Jace's in the fact that she has suffered loss. They have both lost their mothers, and with her remaining family members, they're just shitty people, honestly. So with her situation, your heart breaks for her because she also has her own angers due to her situation. But this is a girl who's an absolute firecracker, who's not afraid to punch back when Jason and others take it too far, and I absolutely loved it. Now, between the two of them, there's a lot of anger, but there's also a lot of tension because these two cannot stay away from one another. Because remember, it is a thin line between hate and love. Overall, I enjoyed the story and the characters who obviously need therapy, and I do plan to continue the series that has two spin-off books. I'm very intrigued by them. Now, this book is currently available. I hope you give it a try, and I hope everyone has a good night and happy readings.